Have you ever felt completely drained by a relationship? Like you're pouring everything you have into a cup that has a hole in the bottom? You're not alone. We've all been there, tangled in complex relationships with family, friends, or partners, where love and frustration are constantly at war. It's exhausting. But what if I told you there's a way to find peace without walking away? A path to protect your own heart while still showing you care. This is the power of compassionate detachment. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Detachment sounds cold, right? Like you're building a wall and shutting people out. But that's not what this is about at all. Compassionate detachment isn't about not caring. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about caring so much that you refuse to let a toxic dynamic destroy the love that's there. It's about loving someone without losing yourself in the process. It's the art of stepping back from the drama, the chaos, and the emotional roller coaster, so you can see the situation clearly and respond with love, not reactivity. Let's break it down. Compassion is the warmth, the empathy, the genuine desire for someone's well-being. Detachment is creating a healthy emotional space. It's realizing that you are not responsible for other people's choices, feelings, or problems. You can't fix them, you can't control them, and you can't make them happy if they are determined to be miserable. Trying to do so is like trying to hold back the ocean with your bare hands. It's futile and will only leave you worn out and defeated. So how do we actually practice this? The first step is recognizing and setting boundaries. Boundaries are not punishments. They are rules of engagement that protect your mental and emotional health. A boundary might sound like, I love you, but I will not participate in gossip. Or I'm here to support you, but I can't be your only source of emotional support. It's important for you to speak with a professional. Or even, I need to end this conversation now if the yelling continues. We can talk again when we're both calm. Setting these boundaries can be scary. You might worry about hurting the other person's feelings or making them angry. And they might get angry. People who are used to overstepping your boundaries often don't like it when you start enforcing them. But your well-being has to be your priority. Remember the airplane safety rule. Put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly drained, anxious, and resentful, you have nothing left to give anyway. This is where the compassionate part truly shines. When you set a boundary, you do it with kindness and respect, but also with firmness. You're not attacking the other person. You're simply stating your needs. You're saying, I value our relationship, and for it to be healthy, this is what I need. It's a shift from being a participant in the chaos to being an observer. Imagine you're watching a play. You can feel for the characters, understand their struggles, and wish them the best. But you know you can't jump on stage and change the script. That's detachment. You are separate from the drama. You can offer a listening ear. You can offer a shoulder to cry on. You can offer suggestions if they're asked for. But you release the need to control the outcome. A huge part of this is letting go of responsibility for others' emotions. If your friend makes a bad decision and is now facing the consequences, you can be there for them. You can say, that sounds really tough. I'm sorry you're going through that. What you don't do is jump in to rescue them from the consequences they created. That's their journey, their lesson to learn. By constantly saving them, you're actually preventing them from growing. It's a difficult truth, but an essential one. Your role is to be a supportive friend, not a constant savior. This concept is especially powerful in family dynamics, which are often the most complex of all. We can feel a deep sense of obligation to our family members. But that obligation doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your own mental health. You can love your family deeply, while also recognizing that their patterns of behavior are not yours to fix. You can choose not to get pulled into old arguments. You can choose to limit your time with relatives who are consistently negative or critical. This is not about cutting them off, unless the situation is truly toxic S about managing the interactions in a way that keeps you safe and sane. Let's talk about self-care, because it's the foundation of compassionate detachment. To have the strength to hold your boundaries and stay detached, you need to be well-rested and emotionally regulated. What fills your cup? Is it walking in nature? Reading a book? Talking to a supportive friend who gets it? Journaling? Maybe it's seeking professional support from a therapist who can give you tools and guidance. Whatever it is, make it non-negotiable. Schedule it into your life, just like you would a doctor's appointment. Your well-being is that important. When you start practicing compassionate detachment, something amazing happens. The dynamic of the relationship begins to shift. Sometimes the other person, realizing you won't engage in the old dance, starts to change their steps too. They might learn to self-soothe or take more responsibility for their own problems because you are no longer doing it for them. Other times, the relationship may fade, and that's okay too. It might be a painful realization, but some relationships are only sustained by unhealthy dynamics, and when you become healthy, the connection no longer works. But most importantly, you change. You'll find a sense of freedom you never thought possible. The constant anxiety in your chest begins to fade. You'll have more energy, more joy, and more space in your life for positive connections. You'll learn to trust yourself and your own judgment. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become the calm, centered author of your own life. This journey isn't easy, and it's not a quick fix. It takes practice, patience, and a lot of self-compassion. You will slip up. You'll get drawn back into old patterns. That's normal. The goal isn't perfection. It's progress. When you find yourself getting emotionally hooked, just take a breath. Acknowledge it without judgment, and gently guide yourself back to your center. Ask yourself, what is mine to carry and what is not? Remember, compassionate detachment is an act of profound love. It's love for the other person, wishing them well on their own path, and it's a deep, powerful love for yourself. Acknowledging that you deserve peace. You deserve relationships that uplift you, not drain you. You have the power to create that reality. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content on building a healthier, happier life. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Take care of yourselves.